Just yesterday we did a top 5 Friday and I asked for 3 likes in the video and you guys went above and beyond, so I will be giving away a digital copy of Roger Corman's Death Race 2050. This movie is not the greatest movie in the world, but it's some cheesy fun. Some of you guys out there might really enjoy it. So if you were lucky enough to claim the digital copy, please leave a comment down below saying that you were the one that grabbed it so everybody doesn't waste their time. Seems like people often forget that part of it, but please do so if you remember to do so. And if you guys want a code in the next Top 5 Friday video, please be sure to hit the like button. We're gonna go for, let's go big, 3 likes. Let's go 3 likes. We're gonna do 3 again. So next time I will give away a copy of something else in digital form. If you want to know what that is, please stick around towards the end of the video and I'll reveal what that title will be. So let's get into this week's Top 5 Friday. It is Top 5 Friday Witches this week. I think I actually picked this theme, and some of the guys were struggling with their list while I was struggling to keep films off of the list because I already had 5. Witches are a pop culture staple. Everybody knows what a witch is, and you figure witches and horror should go hand in hand together, and they do for the most part, but for some reason it seems like when you're talking about main subgenres, main original horror creations, you're thinking about werewolves, you're thinking about vampires, but often forgot is the witch, and I don't know why. I wish there were more witch films. There are a lot. There's a ton. In fact, I could have made a top 20 of witch films. For this top 5, there are no special rules, but I did take out my number 5, my original pick, and swap it with something a little lesser known. I mentioned that a lot of my picks are very fan friendly, so to counterbalance that, I think that at my number 5 spot, I'm going to pick a film that I really like, and it is one of my favorites, but probably in a true top 5 would lose out to a more popular, fan-friendly title. After all, usually if they're popular and fan-friendly, there's a reason for it. So I decided that I'm going to try to pick stuff that I still really love, but maybe would have just lost out, and that way I can highlight some maybe other films that people aren't as familiar with. So with that said, let's jump into it. Coming in at number 5, we have what some might consider a little bit of a cheat, but I stuck it in anyway, and that film is 1989's Warlock. I have it here in the Vestron video release. This is the Warlock collection. It has the entire Warlock trilogy. 1 and 2, solid. Stay far away from 3. I do recommend picking up this pack for 1 and 2 though. Now, many would consider witches to be exclusively female, but in this film it involves a male witch, a warlock if you will, but he's still using witchcraft. And this movie to me is actually very underrated. I don't think people like it that much. I've heard people say that it's cheesy when I really don't feel that way. I think that it has almost this cool like Terminator vibe to it at first, where this person is sent to the future to help protect this girl from this evil force. It kind of sounds Terminator-ish. Actually has some very dark moments in it. I mean, they kill a kid in this film in a very, very dark scene. I love that scene in the movie. I love the mythology set up in this film. It has like a cool witchcraft and different sort of spells and rules and stuff that it follows, like this aging 30 years every day thing that this woman has to try to deal with, which kind of ties her to this guy. It's kind of a cool idea, really, and I think that this movie is heavily overlooked. Coming in at number 4, we have a bit of a newer witch film, and that is 2015's The Witch, directed by Robert Eggers. I have it here on Blu-ray. Great Blu-ray edition here. I have a pretty interesting history with The Witch, because the first time I seen it, I really didn't like it that much, and I realized quickly that it was because I didn't understand a lot of what the characters were saying, which kind of disinterested me a bit in the film. It wasn't until I got it on Blu-ray and I rewatched it with subtitles that I really fell in love with this movie. It's set in the 1600s. It follows a family who's kind of out on their own, and they begin to be terrorized by a witch that lives in the woods. It is a absolute fascinating film. It's a period piece, which brings me to why I had trouble understanding the dialogue. It's very accurate to the time, very, very different from the way we speak nowadays, but this is probably one of the best examples of taking witch folklore and actually using it in a practical, realistic way. This movie has so many neat things about it, and there's all these hidden little references and different things that I didn't pick up on it the first or second time watching it. It wasn't until I listened to the director's commentary where I noticed all these other interesting tidbits. And then I started really overthinking this film, and I started to think that the ending might actually not mean what we think it means. And then Robert Eggers actually teased a concept that could completely change the narrative of the film as well, just by introducing one element, which is this mold that grows on corn, which causes hallucinations, which, you know, most likely it's not the case, but it's an interesting idea. And I think that great films often have these fan theories, if you will, that kind of change the way the narrative work, and it's because the film is done so well that there's so much extra added stuff that you could kind of come up with and create from different things that happen in the film. This movie is classic folklore. It's an amazing movie. It was actually my #1 of 2016, and I highly recommend to check out The Witch if you never have. Coming in at #3, we have a film that I also have a interesting history with, and that is 1977's Suspiria. I have Suspiria here on Blu-ray courtesy of Umbrella Entertainment. This is a great Blu-ray with a great transfer. Synapse Films also put it out in the US if you're curious, but this copy is region free. Suspiria follows a young girl who goes to a dance academy that just happens to be a cover-up for a coven of witches. Now, this film is not very witch heavy. The first time I watched it, I'm not even sure if I really understood the movie at all. It's not an overly complicated movie, but the way that a lot of Italian filmmakers make their movies, as well as Dario Argento specifically, they almost make their films complicated unintentionally almost. It's like they're not technically complicated all the time. Like, Suspiria is not a complicated movie, but it's just the different style and the cultural flares that kind of make what you're expecting in traditional American movie making to be there, and it's not in a lot of the Italian films. So you kind of just little tiny minute tropes that just help a viewer glide along with the film sometimes don't exist in Italian films. I've noticed that since I've been watching more of them. Maybe you disagree, but that's kind of the way that I sum it up on why I often get a little lost in Italian films. But Suspiria is a very good movie. When I first seen it, I didn't really care for it that much. It wasn't until I seen it a few more times that I really got on board with Suspiria. And I'd say the last time that I watched it in the theater on 35mm was the time where I truly enjoyed it. But yeah, Suspiria, it's beautiful, it looks awesome. Dario Argento is the man. It's my favorite Argento, and Argento has a great catalog, so that's saying quite a lot. And at #2 is a film that might surprise you guys, but I absolutely love it, and that is The Craft from the year 1996. I have it in a double feature here with The Woods, which is also a solid witch film. 1996's The Craft is a film that definitely has that 90s vibe to it. Definitely sort of the Scream era vibe. Even though this film came out the same year as Scream, you can definitely tell with those two films that this was the direction of the future, or at least the foreseeable future. The Craft is a movie that a lot of people probably do not give credit to, especially if you're a male, because it is kind of a chick flick, but at the same time, I look at it like the female version of The Lost Boys. Yeah, it's not vampires and it is witches, but it sort of has the same beats and tones that The Lost Boys do. That whole like friendship camaraderie that exists in The Lost Boys. It's very neat, and I've always liked this movie. I grew up on it. It's one that I gravitated back to many times, and honestly, I didn't realize how much I loved it until we covered it during the 1996 Top 10 show. And that's when I realized that, like, this movie's badass. This movie is cool. These chicks are cool. It's, you know, kind of a go girl power type thing, but at the same time, I really like that. I think that it is a really solid movie from the 90s. One of my favorites. If you haven't watched The Craft in a while, give it a shot. It's good stuff. And coming in at #1 should be a surprise to nobody. This is not only my favorite witch film of all time, but it is one of my top 10 favorite horror films of all time, and that is 1999's The Blair Witch Project. I have this old Artisan DVD here. I do think this film's on Blu-ray. I never really upgraded because it's kind of like half like video and like half like, I don't know, it's found footage. I just didn't think that it would look that good, and I've been waiting on some sort of special edition or something to come out. The Blair Witch Project is such an amazing movie. You could really make an entire video expressing how interesting the marketing alone was. This is one of the biggest pop culture phenomenons in horror history. This movie tricked the masses into thinking it was a real story. This was really these people's footage that somebody found, edited together, and put in a movie theater. It got me as a kid. It's the film that scared me more than any other movie, and it is truly a brilliant movie. I know that there are tons of people who don't like it, and I feel sorry for you, because if you actually can watch the Blair Witch Project and get out of it what the people who love it get out of it, you would be amazed, because this movie scares the hell out of me still to this day. It just is a movie that you have to be in that mindset. It's not going to work on everybody. It's one of those movies that is either going to work on you or it's not. And that's the end of the story. There's no explaining to people or convincing people of its magic. They just have to feel it or they don't. And I come to accept that with the Blair Witch Project. Some people just are not going to get it the way that people who love it get it. They're not going to see it the way that you see it, because it truly is one of those like lightning in a bottle, amazing, aha type movies. And you just either feel it or you don't, man. The Blair Witch Project, man, I love this movie. So that's it, guys. Blair Witch Project #1. Alright, and next week, as long as we meet that like goal requirement of 3 likes, I will be giving away a digital copy of the film 976 Evil. This was released by Sony in sort of a cool little edition here. It says it includes the alternate home version. I don't know if that is included on the digital copy, but if you claim it, let me know, because I actually am curious. And I'll see you guys next time with another video. Peace out.